My research involves two things you don't encounter in academia every day: comics and pornography. So today I'm going to show you how I connect these two divergent mediums using two terms from comic studies: identification and the gutter. So starting with identification, you can see here how this chart builds in progression from a detailed illustrated face towards a more simplified abstract face. The detailed face represents one person. The abstract face represents anyone. If I was to ask you all right now if you ever felt like you identified with Ron Jeremy or Jenna Jameson, you would probably say no. But if I asked you if you'd ever identified with Charlie Brown, I think at least a few of you would say at some point or another you felt as though you had the football pulled out from under you. In this next example, this is what we refer to as the gutter, the space in between two comics panels. So what we see here is one man coming at another man with an axe. In the second panel, we hear a scream. Despite the fact that we haven't been told exactly what's happening, we know that this man has been killed. That's because when we read comics, we naturally fill in the blanks in between panels in order to connect two disjointed actions. And often, what happens in the gutter, the space in between the two panels, is more important to your individual reading than what happens in the panels of the comics themselves. This allows you to let your imagination fill in the blanks of the story and have a more personalized reading. So let's think about how these two conventions can be used to create pornography. A lot of complaints about conventional pornography is that viewers have difficulty identifying with the people on screen. So maybe you spend hours and hours searching for a video with actors that you find attractive. Or maybe strange sounds or ridiculous music leaves you feeling less than aroused. Well, this is why using the comics form and the illustrated body to create pornography alleviates many of these problems and helps us create a more ethical and more enjoyable pornography. Not only is the reader more likely to identify with the sexual interaction that's happening, they're also more likely to feel a personal connection with the material as they use their imagination to fill in the blanks. A comics artist can use these conventions that I've shown you to create a sex scene that is leaving something to the imagination, because comics are all about the erotics of silence, of absence. The porn industry that flourished in the 80s and 90s is no longer a lucrative field for most. At the same time, pornography is one of the quickest growing genres in comics, allowing artists and writers to produce pornography that is more complex in content because of the extreme simplification of its form. Thank you.